Yo, what's good? It's your boy SB706 or SB Report 706, Archie Leash on Twitter, whatever it is. This is the Reborn Nation Report, the unofficial official podcast of Falcons Twitter. We got the big homie, the young OG, Jalen Muhammad. What's good, man?
But can we keep talking about how the fact that this man doesn't even know his own ad? You changed that like a year ago.
Bruh, look, I'm going through some things. Bro, we out here.
Yeah,
we out here.
All right, bro.
Yo, shout out to all the Falcons supporters and fans rock the podcast. So throw us a follow. We're trying to do some big things out here. But real quick, shout out to the Gift Queen and Josh that attempted to record on this app again, but for whatever reason, it's hella janky and would not work. So I even tried to edit it, but it was just so bad. So shout out to them for making an attempt. This janky ass app, we're probably never going to use it again. So hopefully we have some better.
Just trying to get into this was awful. My God.
Yeah, Ringer, you are garbage. But anywho, we're going to start off with the big, wow, my notes were hella wrong. I'm sorry. The big win on the Eagles. I wrote down the Vikings. I told you I'm going through some things over here. So
I was going to let it slide. I figured people knew what you meant. But,
I don't think I recorded that part. But anywho, so last week we had of course, another heart attack win against the Philadelphia Eagles, 24-20 with a explosive game-winning touchdown by the greatest play call in NFL history from your man's Dirk Cotter, the legendary screenplay where Julio took it to the house. And, sealed the game. Even though we kind of almost lost after that for several miscues on the defense, we do. A couple drops, miscues, but you know what? Falcons fan, we pulled off the W, and I can respect that. So I would like to know your thoughts and analysis on the game, and I'll let you know what I was thinking as I watched it.
Well, I came into that game expecting them to lose just because, I don't have any faith in our offense. Well, our offensive coordinator. I think our offense has the talent to be the best in the league every year, especially when you have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and those people there. But I had no faith in them winning that game just because of the offense. And surprisingly, because I saw the defense was playing well against the Vikings, no matter what the score said, they were put in terrible positions. But
yeah,
I saw they were playing well, and I was like, okay, this is attainable. So I had no expectations. And then I heard that a couple of the Eagles front seven people were out, and I was like, okay, you might have a chance here. And then that's all I really thought about it. During the game, I was as I usually am, more meticulous and reactive. So every time something happened, I wasn't really freaking out about it. I was just like, there's still a lot of game to play. Even realistically, when they probably should have tore the game apart, blew the game up, I was like, after that day in February a couple years ago, I know better than to say the game is over on anything.
Yeah.
I think people who had low-key good games in that game that people aren't really going to talk about. Obviously, people are going to talk about Deion Jones and all those people playing well because they play well almost every time. And Tack had a monster game.
He was balling
Vic had a good game. Surprising, huh? Vic had a good game. Vic's had a good season so far, even though it's only 2 games in. But he's had a good season.
Yeah. The narrative still hasn't changed, but hopefully the dum-dums will start putting on their thinking caps and actually watching the game. Stop being wild haters on your boy Vic Beasley. But
yeah, Vic had a good game. On the offensive end, Javon Brown had a wonderful game. I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to get his shit pushed in.
Okay. Hashtag problematic.
Yeah.
Continue.
It wasn't even being. I actually like Jamal Brown. I liked him more than the James Carpenter signing, but he's going to get Fletcher Cox. It's like the second best defensive tackle in the league.
Yeah.
I expect pretty much anybody to get dropped off. Only person I would have had faith against him was realistically Alex Mack. But yeah, he had a good game, and those are my 2 people that I would say had underrated games. Everybody else played to standard. I wasn't really worried about Matt Ryan's interceptions as most people were. I was chilling.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say everybody played the center because 2 of those 3 picks were bad. One was.
I wouldn't say 2 of them. I'd say one of them was bad. The other one was more of a timing / misplacement thing, and one of them was just completely awful.
Yeah.
like the half of the one where he got kind of blitzed where he was throwing it up to Julio. That one wasn't bad. That was pretty much an arm punt. That was just unfortunate. I think he may have gotten hit on that one too, so that kind of explains why it wobbled instead of going to where he wanted it to go. The
Yeah.
one that Hooper was, that one was the one I thought was completely awful. But and then the other one was it was whatever.
This is new. Yeah, I don't know whose fault that was. There was also while we're on Matt Ryan,
Oh,
there was a couple.
that one was on Ryan, but it wasn't bad. He just led it too far,
Yeah,
or he just threw it behind him.
and speaking about leading it too far, while we're on Matt Ryan, there was two particular plays that fans thought that he should have made the completions. One was a deep pass to Ridley, and another one was to Hardy. And I think I added you, and I was asking, was that drop on Hardy or was it on Matt Ryan? Because in real time, I couldn't really tell. So, and I haven't really heard anybody really mention it or kind of break it down, but I think that you said it looked like Matt Ryan overthrew it a bit, but it looked like
he just overthrew him a little bit. Yeah,
it still seemed like a play that Hardy should have made, though. Like, it looks like he.
I mean, if you're expecting the person who ran the 4.6 to catch a D ball like that, where you have to lead him, then yeah, then it's a problem. But
oh man,
if it was like anybody else in that situation, you probably can say that that's a good throw, whatever. But considering like personnel and everything, I think Matt just overthrew him, which is fine. It's a deep shot. It was a deep play, but you would like him to see him make those. But it's early in the season. He'll get to form. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, he had he led the team receiving last week, and then he came back with I think a goose egg this. Not
and Hardy and receiving. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, then he came back and kind of went back to his norm, I guess. But yeah, shout out to the dude we let go that I think probably would have made that catch. I can't even remember his name anymore. The fast guy that dropped a long touchdown pass but also caught one last year.
I think I don't even remember who. They turned over so much of like the back end of the roster. I don't remember who, because like I'm thinking of Marvin Hall right now, but that's probably not him.
Marvin Hall, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they let go of like receivers left and right. Like I wish we would kind of keep and develop some guys. Hopefully we can see a little bit more out of Russell Gage because he was looking pretty good in the preseason. But I mean, it is what it is.
He's good. Offense. I'm excited for him.
Well, hopefully we retain his services more than 2 seasons because. Again, a lot of people.
I mean, to be fair, everybody else they really didn't have like a role for. Like Marvin Hall started off being like the gunner, or he was just playing on special teams a lot, and then they kind of like lost his role because he pretty much getting outplayed by Justin Hardy and a couple other people. So they were just like, all right, we're just gonna save that roster spot. And Russell Gage has probably been one of their best special team people for the last couple of years. So. He pretty much got to stay on the roster until they find somebody better. And if he keeps improving, if he has on offense as a wide receiver, then I don't think he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon, especially with Sanu's contract coming up soon.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So my thoughts watching the game was, honestly, after the week 1 loss against the Vikings, I tweeted out that, like, what were the statistics for a team making the playoffs starting out 0-2, because I didn't think there was a way we would be able to beat the Eagles with their vaunted defensive pass run, their defensive line. But that was before I watched the replay or the All-22 of them playing Washington. And I'm watching that game like, wow, like, Washington is kind of carving them up, and Washington has, like, no established run game. Like, Washington was giving them the business, and they essentially got beat by Deshaun Jackson. So I'm looking at that, and I'm like, okay, well, this pass rush doesn't look spectacular. Again, I understand they have the big-name players on defense, but, like, as a unit, it didn't look as fierce as I thought it would be. So then I'm like, all right, cool. We have a chance if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, don't get beat by Deshaun Jackson, and don't have a lot of mental errors, which, even though we still had mental errors, Deshaun Jackson went down, we still put ourselves in a position to win. And honestly, I think it would have been a easier win, which we can never get as Falcons fans, had Matt Ryan not made those interceptions, if that makes sense. So, but just watching the game, I was impressed with the offensive line stepping up. I was impressed with the defensive line stepping up. And I haven't heard a lot of people giving Dan Quinn a lot of credit for his role as a defense coordinator. Like you said, last week, regardless of the score, not last week, before last, in game 1 versus the Vikings, regardless of the score, the defensive line looked good. The defense looked a lot better than I've ever seen it look, and that gave me reasons not to be too worryful, about the team down the line. So, shout out to Dan Quinn for, not putting his job on the line, but kind of saying, hey, the whole Thanos, I'll do this myself type deal with the defense. And I've really been impressed with what I've seen from the defense so far. Again, it's early, but hopefully the defense continues to gel and grow as this group. And shout out to Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen coming off the injuries, and they look like they really haven't missed a beat so far, except for the two, miscues with Keanu Neal in coverage. But, again, we got the W. So
I would say one miscue. One of those was he was playing his job, and people on the back end failed him. But the other one, that was like the Aguilar should be a touchdown, was definitely on Keanu. But the deep bomb to Aguilar at the end of the game wasn't on Keanu. He was doing his job. He was making sure that he was playing the sticks basically, and everybody else was supposed to be behind him, and nobody else was behind him, which didn't make any sense, but it's whatever.
Well, again, and even with mistakes like that, like I'm glad that we come out with the win, but there were a lot of teachable moments in this game. And I think a game like this builds a lot of confidence for a team that some people have kind of lost faith in. Some people, the national media likes us when we're hot, but kind of when we're down, they're kind of down on us, which is understandable. But for the people that actually pay attention to the team, this is a big confidence builder for us going to a not so easy Indianapolis Colts team. Again, they're missing Andrew Luck, but they still have a playoff caliber defense, even though they're going to be coming in with some injuries. And we're going to be playing Jacoby Brissett. But the Falcons seem to have a problem historically with backup quarterbacks. And I was at the infamous Roddy White game in 2016.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me and
that didn't happen.
Shout out to Marcus Sniffles, who people don't know this. He's a Colts fan. People think he's a Falcons fan, but he is a Colts fan. Me, him, and I think Adolphus Savage was at the game. Bruh, I have never been so mad in my life. Like, there was an interception in the game that, like, that shit was out of control. Like, it was the craziest pick six I ever seen. Like, it happened so fast, they didn't even replay it on the Jumbotron. Like, I was like, bro, like, y'all gonna re-show that? They just, like, kept it moving like nothing happened, dog. And we took the Ellis to Ellis. I was like, bro, I want to see what happened. Like, it was a split second, that shit was gone. But that was a crazy game. That was kind of the demise of Roddy White. And, yeah, very sad day for Falcons fans.
I'm glad. I love it that we're still calling it the Roddy White game. Just, I love it.
People was in the stands yelling out "Free Roddy." It was out of control talk.
People talking about Free Roddy like literally the next year he to get replaced by someone better.
Free Roddy, it was out of control talk. Okay, so I definitely understand Jif Queen's frustration with this whack ass app because this shit is terrible. Anywho, so yeah, that was the infamous what is now known as the Free Roddy game. And again, Jalen was saying that our team improved drastically. I wouldn't say that the causation was getting rid of Roddy White. I think it was more or less Matt and Shanahan getting on the same page with the offense. But yeah, what is your offensive philosophy before we were so rudely cut off by this garbage ass app?
My thing is I like big plays, not because they're like exciting, but because they offer the best chance of scoring efficiently. And I'm also low key a offensive hater, if that makes sense, because I like watching defense more than I like watching offense. So I would want to see defense on the field more than anything. But I like bigger plays, like what Shanahan did. Like, we led the league in explosive plays that year. Now we hit like far and away, and that offense put up 36 points a game. If we didn't have the horses that we do right now, like we have Ridley who can beat somebody deep, Julio beat somebody deep, Russell Gage beat somebody deep, and you have all the people to like lead up to those plays. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to, run those plays more often, which is my problem with them signing Dirk, because he's never been an explosive playmaker. He's always been like a grind down the field. Well, this all starts because our head coach is an idiot, but
Oh God.
I love Dan Quinn, but I don't like the idea of people saying, "Hey, you know what we should do? Let's become a run first team when we're paying our top 3 people 50% of our cap." Like, that doesn't.
They even
make
said that
sense to me.
too. I think Dirk said that in one of the press conferences that we want to be a run first team. And just hold your thought. I'm gonna jump in. I'm not mad with the thought of being a run first team, only because that opens up more opportunities for big plays and play actions, right?
Depends on the design of the play action. You can't just run like because no matter what you do, if there's only so much like big play you can do, because if you have to sell the run, you're giving up assets. say you have to sell the run like they tried to do on that interception. I think it was the Vikings game. And yeah, it was the Vikings game where he threw that pick in the end zone where you have to give up at least a wide receiver to put in tight ends to try to sell blocking. Like that doesn't amount to big plays. It just amounts to a 10-yard gain. You could do that by keeping the people in the game and hopefully get some yards. But I don't like anybody who said especially this year, running backs don't matter. Like now in the NFL, running backs don't matter. So if you're trying to be like a run first team, then your quarterback either sucks or you haven't found a quarterback. So
yeah, that's
just
funny
my thing. That's my one thing. That's it.
That's funny because we was talking about on Twitter what a typical running back was. A lot of people were down on well, I wouldn't say people. A lot of fans kind of had this thing where they refuse to acknowledge other players being good if it's not your team's player or in your division or in your conference. Like, facts. Regardless of what team Alvin Kamara plays, he is a great football player.
He'd probably be a top 5 back. Like,
yeah, and it was funny because they were like, "Oh, he's never gotten 20 carries in game," which he didn't. Week 1. I mean, week 2 was a whole different animal. Like they got drugged, but week 1 he only had like 19 carries, but still had like 90 some yards rushing, and I think 20-30 yards
in the air. I'm pretty sure he did most of his work in the air, but he ran the ball a lot too.
Yeah, so like, what is the point of? Oh, you got to get 20 carries. Like that week, only one running back had over 21 carries, and guess who that was? Dalvin Cook. He ran all over us. No other running back that week had over 20 carries. So the notion that your running back has to be able to carry the load with 20 carries is like asinine. Like that's a very antiquated way of thinking about how football is done. Like you said, most of the top players on your teams are on offense. They're paying a lot of money to throw and catch the ball. And again, we're in an era now where it's running back by committee. So again, even with the whole Devontae Freeman back in the day last year with Tico and now with Ito Smith, people are like, oh, put Ito in, let him get a bulk of the carries. I'm like, I don't think that Ito, I'm not mad at the thought of Ito getting more carries, but the thought to kind of just give him all the carries, let him be the lead guy is stupid. Like, why would you not want to have 2 good running backs? What is this idea of shipping Freeman out? Like, if you don't think he's good, then what value do you think you can get for him? You know what I'm saying? Like that, I never understood that thought process. Like, it's a bit of a tangent, but this is some of the things I've seen on the Twitters lately.
Yeah, I agree with all those. Like, running back, this is only like 3 total, bell cow running backs. Everybody else is by committee. And those 3 bell cow running backs either have injury problems or people don't want to pay them because they're going to have injury problems. Like, there's no point in trying to argue over running backs, especially a running back coming off of injury. Like, I guess it's a good segue into what Aaron said about
yeah, I'm pulling up that thread right now
about Devontae having actually a really good success rate. People got to stop looking at yards per carry too to determine running backs because that irks me.
I'm not gonna lie. I have sometimes felt victim to that, but I think I will use it in the sense of kind of trolling. Like, I'll know I'm wrong, but I will use it just to further my argument sometimes for no reason. But I'm usually an eye test guy because you can look at and this is the thing, and I hate Jay-Z for this quote from Blueprint 3. We talked about this on the committee podcast. The whole men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Like, numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole story. Like, there was a year where Blake Bortles was on paper a top quarterback, and now
that was like what 4 years ago, where that man literally was God inside the end zone, like top 2 quarterback ever in the end zone, and then with trash everywhere else, but people were pushing him in like top 20 quarterbacks or something.
Yeah. So again, guys, use your eyes. Don't go off the numbers. Like, in preparation for this episode, I went on Twitter and Googled Devontae Freeman, or not Googled. I looked him up on Twitter. Literally everything that I saw on Devontae Freeman was fantasy football related. Like, there was like no real discussion of his actual skill as a real football player. It was like, oh, should I buy low, sell high on Freeman? Who should I start this week? Is he a flex play? I'm like, come on, guys. Like, is this what football has become? Is it just now all about fantasy stats? Like, this shit is out of control. Like, it's part of the thing that's kind of ruining the game. It's like fantasy football, but yeah. But I mean, to Aaron's thread. So he did a quick thread. Shout out to Aaron Freeman. Check his podcast out. Locked On Falcons. Really good. I listen to it like every day. So he said he had an 8-part tweet thread in defense of Devontae Freeman with the question marks surrounding Falcons running blocking up front, especially with their ability to climb to second level execute. I get why some people want Ito Smith to get more work in the run game, given his greater potential for explosive plays on rare occasions where they're presented. He says, also, I do think that many might be overestimating ability in Ito. His 2 big runs this year, 44 of his 63 yards. Outside of those 2 runs, he's averaging 2.4 yards carry. Devontae Freeman had 2 runs versus Philly, blown up due to poor blocking, losing 11 yards. Outside of those 2 yards, he was averaging 2.4 yards to carry. Ito's big run versus Minnesota was a 16-yard gain where Xavier Rhodes completely loses contain. Blah, blah, blah. It's not important. All right. Roughly 6% of run plays for 2014-2018 came either on 1st and 10 or in the red zone. In my honest opinion, value running the ball is mostly about keeping your offense on schedule on early downs, and also becomes advantageous on the field, gets condensed. So pretty much what they're saying, or what Aaron is saying, is that essentially Devontae's success rate, which is a stat you should look at versus yards per carry, is 40% compared to Ito's 20%. You can't judge somebody's ability off their big plays. Like, again, I think against the Eagles last week, you subtract his big run, his average was like 1.8 yards per carry. You know what I'm saying? And Freeman's coming off.
He lost like 13 or so yards on like 2 plays, and he was consistently playing better than Ito was. But because he lost those yards, then it kind of made him look worse. Which is tough because people always are going to look at like fantasy and everything, because fantasy has made a massive leap in the last couple of years, but you can use fantasy numbers and still not try to hit my mention because you will be wrong every time. So
yeah, and people act like Free didn't miss like almost the entire season last year. Like running back is a position where you have to get your rhythm right, get your game speed, get adjusted, getting back to being physical with people. So it's not like riding a bike. It kind of is, but it's not. Like if people out there who play running back or sports, you understand it's like you can't just walk in there and be like, oh, I'm back to normal. Like it takes time. There's a lot going on. There's a lot you have to digest with your eyes and your feet and, making the reads and, getting out there and doing big things. So everybody be patient with Freeman. Like I've seen tweets of people saying like, oh, low key, I've been tired of Freeman this whole time. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, are we really doing this? I mean, nobody was really getting much runoff in the Vikings. Like they have a pretty good defense. So we can't let that be the reason why we slander him. And again, Ito's great, but again, having 2 good guys is better than having 1 guy that you think is good because you look at inaccurate ways to break down stats. But yeah, hashtag yards per carry is a fake stat. Shout out to Aaron Freeman. So moving on, another big thing this week.
Every time I'm on the pod, I have to shout out Aaron. It happens every time.
Yeah, Aaron is hilarious. I actually want to get on one of his fan talks one day. I was listening to a couple of them, but I might hit him up one day. But the next thing that kind of got Falcons Twitter in a bit of a tizzy is your boy Jalen Ramsey. So if you haven't heard, Jalen Ramsey wants out of Jacksonville, right? I tweeted out about Jalen Ramsey. The best way not to get roasted by Julio Jones is to not be on an opposing team. So that's my secret theory why he wants to leave and possibly come to the Falcons so he doesn't have to face Julio Jones in real life. But there's a lot of people out there, including yourself, who think this would be a good move for the Falcons. I was actually intrigued by your tweet saying that you give up both of our first-round picks this year that we got for Ramsey, when there's probably other ways you could do it. But like, kind of break down your thought process on that.
Okay, the tweet that I was talking about, because somebody was saying they want 2 first-round picks, so people were trying to see like how important are these picks. So it was like, because that's what the Jags want. They want 2 first-round picks, and they're probably going to want a player or some shit like that for Jalen Ramsey, which is acceptable. He's like 24 years old and in his prime has been all pro in his like first 2 seasons. Like that, you don't find those kind of players on the street ever. I don't think they're going to do it because I don't think they should do it. But if they were to do it, I would not have minded like giving up McGarry and Lindstrom because 1, you gave up a lot of capital to get McGarry. He's been good so far this year, but you probably could have done some other stuff around that. And before we drafted Lindstrom, even though I'm happy with the Lindstrom pick, is you literally just spent like $30 million on 2 guards, and then you signed another one, which is helping now because you have good depth. But at that time, I don't think you can predict like that happening. So if it was before the season and they had that and the Falcons had 2 first-round picks, I definitely would have traded those 2 picks, even if it would have meant not getting the lineman we got. Because to be honest, they only really drafted more linemen besides the fact that Ryan Schrader was becoming washed overnight because they wanted to run the ball more, which is why they signed and drafted how they did, which is, again, against what I want to do, but that's what they wanted to do, so that's what they did.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying, like, in retrospect, had this deal been available prior to the draft, you would have traded those picks that we got for Jalen Ramsey?
Yes, I would have.
Well, isn't there the whole thing that, like, he wants to play, like, more man coverage and we run a good bit of zone? So some people think that would be a scheme fit.
Well, the Falcons, the last 2-3 years, well, 2 years, especially like last year, have been more man than have been a zone team. Apparently, the people they have are just not good at zone, especially Isaiah Oliver. He was not good at zone last year. He got roasted pretty often in zone. They've been more successful playing man. Well, they pretty much they started out as a zone team. That's what Dan Quinn's like scheme is. But recently, they've been playing more man across the board because they have more people that are good at man than they do at zone. So if you want to play more man and you have an elite man corner, why don't you just let them play man? If you don't have to give up Trufant and you can add Jalen Ramsey to the other side, what is the point of playing zone right there?
Yeah, that was kind of my thought where you were saying that.
You could literally just lock their 1 through 3 receiver down with man.
Yeah, that was my thought.
You have a good safety over the top. You have a good safety underneath. You have good linebackers. You have pretty good athletes all across the line. There's no point for you to like stay in zone unless you're being conservative. It's not like you're gonna play 100% man because no team ever plays 100% man. But if you play like 60% man and 40% zone, I'm pretty sure Ramsey would be okay with that.
Yeah, I was also thinking like, hey, if you get somebody that's what they want to do, you kind of maybe adjust to that, right? Like you said, to make it work. But I mean, there's some people, which is weird in the media, they're now trying to downplay Ramsey's ability. Like, oh, he's not that good. He had a down year. Statistically, he was blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's really not motivated to be there because Jacksonville historically has fumbled their team. Like, I honestly think you could probably run the Jaguars better than they're being run now, along with other people. But he also does benefit. I mean, he has Bouye on the other side. They have Calais Campbell, who's a monster. Like, their defense does get pressure, which helps with him look good. But I think independent of that, he would still be a great corner. You know what I'm saying? And again, the Falcons' defense is
in the league.
Facts. And the Falcons' defense is uptrending. So again, if you want to look at it going in the future, I could see how that's a good move because again, one of the things that Aaron spoke about recently was kind of his vision for the Falcons in the future, which is kind of probably not what you would like to see, but kind of a change in the identity of the Falcons as a more of a defensive team, kind of like his with the Seahawks when he coached over there. Kind of being a run first team, a team not built around like a star receiver like Julio Jones. And again, like you said, he's 24 years old. It might look bad now for the here and now, which it'll still improve the team, but moving down the line, building that elite tier defense that is the identity of the Falcons is something that will be, I think, a benefit down the line. I think that's the direction that we are going in the future, if that makes sense.
I think that if they don't get a good defense sooner than later, then we won't have to worry about that because we're not gonna have the same people on the team. But
again, I've been impressed with the defense.
I wouldn't like that unless you're, unless you think Matt Ryan is gonna get washed pretty soon. Like if you give him like 2 years to have good play and then he's gonna get washed, then sure, maybe you want to be a run first team and have Matt Ryan win games only when he needs to. But I don't think he's gonna be washed anytime soon. So again, you're just going to be spending $40 million when Matt Ryan's contract is up, $40 million on the quarterback where you literally going to hand the ball off 80% of the time. That's not.
Oh, come on. 80 is a strong number though. We know it's not going to be.
It's exactly. It's hyperbole for the point of my argument. Okay.
Okay. Facts. I would just like to see it where, hey, we can kind of, if we needed to, like, let's say we get a 10-point lead, we can just kind of dominate the game with the run. I get it. It's more efficient, explosive pass the ball, but hey, we can rip off 4 yards a clip when we need to kind of finish the game off. That would be kind of great to see. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anybody being mad with that. So that's kind of my take with that. So, but yeah, guys, give Freeman some time. Like, I love Twitter because you can just kind of see how people's mindset changes. Because again, let Free have a good game in a couple of weeks. I don't think he's gonna have a great game this week because the Colts defense is pretty stout. We're going on the road. But it's going to come. The floodgates are going to open, and people will be like, oh my God, this is the Freeman we've been waiting for. Oh, I love Free. Hashtag eat Free, all that stuff. And I'm like, I got these tweets bookmarked that, the energy wasn't quite the same. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so I don't think the Falcons are getting Jalen Ramsey. Who would be your best guess to get Jalen Ramsey if you had to make a prediction?
Probably the Chiefs. Just because the Chiefs seem to have infinite amount of assets and picks all of a sudden. So probably them. One team I would just don't send him to any like team that I don't like. But the only team I really like hate is the Saints. I'm pretty much neutral on every other team. Just don't send him to like the Cowboys. Don't send him to the Seahawks. Don't send him to.
Oof.
That's pretty much it. Everybody else I'd be fine with. Just don't send him to those two teams and I'd be straight. Obviously in the Saints, but I don't think the Saints have anywhere near the assets to do that. Don't send them to the Eagles either, because if we have to replay them, that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I was excited to see the Julio play Ramsey, but I would not like to see that on the Eagles team. That would be tragic. Very tragic. But speaking of a team that you hate for this extremely smooth transition. So, yeah, the Saints have a lot going on right now, right? Drew Brees is out for like 6 weeks. I don't believe in karma necessarily, but whatever.
Neither do I, but some people do. So I gotta hit the masses.
So like, also the fact that for whatever reason we live rent free in Saints fans' heads. Like I always see Saints fans jumping in our mentions talking about 28-3, blase blase. I was like, bro, that wasn't even your accomplishment, dog. Like get a life, chill. So some network in New Orleans, I'm assuming. And again, this is probably more of a sign of the economic downfall in New Orleans, but the first line is, how much money would it take for you to betray the Saints? How does $2,000 sound? CableTV.com will pay somebody $2,000 to take the shameful challenge of spending the rest of their football season flying their rival team's colors and bragging about it online. And that's all I'm going to read, because that is why would you even propose something like that?
Why?
Like, come on, bro. Like, is it? I understand Drew Brees is out, but there's nothing else you could talk about. Could I do like a puff piece on Alvin Kamara or something? Like, this is what it's come down
your
to.
New quarterbacks that you're about to see for the next month and a half. Like, come on, bro. There was no point in that. To answer that question, yes, I'd absolutely do it, because you never know where my loyalties lie. But
hey, my loyalty is to the light bill and that rent.
Right. I'll take that 2K real quick, bro. Not gonna cap.
I'm like, damn, Jalen, what happened? It was all good just a week ago, dog. Like,
it was all good just a week ago. You're gonna see me flaunting at the Saints game. Best believe. Might throw a couple ice cubes every now and then.
wow. Blow some whistle, you know what I'm saying?
Like some legislation. The Saints did during the Super Bowl, have a half Falcon, half Saints jersey on real quick. They never know.
Jesus. Have mercy. So, again, let's propose this to the Falcons fans just for kicks and giggles. You can add me at SBReport706 or add Jalen at Jalen Muhammad on Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah. Would you take $2,000 to become a Saints fan for any period of time? I'm curious. I'm sure there's going to be at least one person that says yes for the same reason, but you gotta have more saying pride than that. Like, we can't do that. That's not the flex. Not the flex. Not in the area.
The only other reason why I would actually want to do that is because I actually like a pretty decent amount of players on the Saints from like my draft stuff. Like Sheldon Rankins, dog, love him.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara, love him. Like, I don't like Michael Thomas because he looks like Squidward's house, but
facts.
Like Marcus Williams coming out of the draft, loved him. Would have loved him on the Falcons. A bunch of people on their team I actually like, pretty much like. I'm not gonna hate them. Only person I really hate, there's like two people on the Saints I hate, which is Cam Jordan and that midget, he who shall not be named, and their head coach, but he doesn't count. He's not a human. So.
Yeah, he just signed an extension too. Like, they're really riding this Sean Payton thing out. Curious to see how
Oh,
that
it's okay. They're
goes.
gonna sign that extension, and as soon as Drew Brees retires, she's out of there.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process, but yeah, good luck with that. So, what I like to do on this section of the podcast, and I kind of want to do more. I just need to stop being like I need to manage my time better and do this. But before we get to the tweets of our Falcons fans, shout out to Julio Jones for becoming the all-time leading Falcons receiver, eclipsing Roddy White. He now has 10,868 yards. So he leads the Falcons, and he broke that record on that essentially touchdown winning screenplay. So
You
shout
know
out to
what's
Jet
crazy
Jones.
about that? Julio's probably missed about 3 full seasons, or about 2.5 full seasons because of injury, and he did that in that much time less than Roddy White. That man is great.
But
if he keeps he's what 30, 31 right now.
Yeah,
he has about 4 good years on him. If he can have like 1,800 yards for the next 4 years, he'll be like what 2 or 3 all time.
mm-hmm.
He might just end up being like the best wide receiver ever.
So okay, while we're there, I'm glad we got here. And so I haven't seen this person play at his prime, but I feel it's very close-minded for people to say by default that how can I say this? I'm not going to say what I want to say, but Jerry Rice, right? I get it. Actually, I don't get it, but I get it. I feel like it's more legend than anything. This might sound blasphemous to people. Again, I will do my research, but I can't see a world where in their primes, both their primes, where if I had the choice to make over the monster and the freak athlete that Julio Jones is, to pick Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. The only other person I'd probably pick is what? Randy Moss or Megatron? Like in terms of like pure freak athlete, like with like great catch radius, great speed, great hands, stuff like that. Is probably those two.
Yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but like you're looking at you're looking at like a classic like Corvette compared to like the brand new 8-speed automatic joint that looks like a Ferrari. Again, at some point, oh my god, yo, no, I just wiki Jerry Rice. They're saying that his 40 time. Take a guess what his 40 time was.
4.57.
According to Wikipedia, 4.71.
Oh, he would get fucking mopped. Whoa, what the hell?
It again, I get it, man.
Wikipedia has a grain of salt because people can change that around, but I don't think somebody would change that.
Yeah, I don't think people
he
are going out of their way. He cannot play wide
receiver in this day and age. He'd definitely be relegated to like a tight end. I'm not gonna kid you.
Yeah,
wow,
and again, it's no shade. We gotta kind of,
bro. We gotta change 285-pound linebacker. I mean, D end's running that fast now. You think he's gonna cook somebody?
Well, they're saying they're saying that his sources say his 40 time was measured as fast as 4.4, though later reported as slow as 4.7. That's a huge gap of discrepancy.
So I'm gonna take the medium of that and say 4.5. I mean 4.6.
Yeah, we'll go 4.6.
Yeah, it's about 4.55.
Yeah.
Still, Julio ran like a 4.3 with a broken foot, so he's probably pushing 4.2 at 6'3", 225 pounds.
Yes, and Jerry Rice was 6'2", 200. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta change the narrative, man. Like, I get it. Like, the fucking tube TV was great, but we have like HD curve, high definition LED TVs now, bro. Like, you're not gonna pick that over the new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna anger some people because I'm about to say something about basketball real quick. It's kind of like the LeBron and Jordan debate, right? Like, Jordan, obviously the best player of his time. Easily. Like, no question. LeBron, definitely the best player of his time. Easily. No debate. I don't care about you Kobe fans. No. There's no debate. It's like a change of eras, I think. Like, Jerry Rice can be like the greatest wide receiver of that time, and Julio can easily be the greatest wide receiver of this time. Like if people distinguished it as like that instead of like number one, number two, like all time, then I'd probably be more willing to debate in debates of that sort.
Well, and the thing that sucks is we need somebody smart like Elon Musk or somebody to invent a time machine. Because the thing that kills a lot of these debates or kind of keeps them alive is the whole vacuum argument. Like, I would love to take prime Julio Jones, switch eras, put him back there. Take prime Jerry Rice, put him in this era. That's the only way
prime
you kind
Julio
of
Jones
see
in that era would got shot. They gonna think that man is a government spy or some shit, bro.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, but with football, it's probably a little bit easier to measure, or even in basketball too. But only thing with basketball is because it's one of those games where one player can kind of dominate, like, receiver.
Dominate, yeah.
You kind of gotta
people.
They're dependent on other people for your success. But yeah, man, come on, bro. Let me know. I'm gonna do a poll on the website or on the Twitter. Like, who would you draft? Julio Jones or Jerry Rice? And I'm sure that somebody's going to try to argue Jerry Rice is the GOAT. I'm like, bro, come on, dog. Don't embarrass yourself. Do not embarrass yourself. So
I'd rather you say Randy Moss is the GOAT than say Jerry Rice is the GOAT.
Well, the media hates Randy Moss, so that they're never going to push that narrative.
I wonder why they do that.
Big ass helmets with fucking chickens in the middle. Like, that's got to be top 5 coon activity of all time. Top 5.
They hate Randy Moss because he don't have his tap dance shoes on every now and then. But that's a different argument. Moving on.
Hashtag problematic. So let's go to some tweets that I found interesting. So at Screaming Demon LP, I love our QB, but I think I'll take Vic over Ryan.
Can I leave? Can I go right now? Can I just I'm just close that, bro. Like,
the Area 51 raid might not be a bad place to be with people in this world talking like that.
People,
we have,
oh my god,
we have Axdog.
Why is that still an argument? What more does Matt Ryan have to do?
This one might be even worse. We have at Axdog EL. It's so hard to hate Drew Brees even as a Falcons fan.
Oh no, get him out of here. Tell me his ad after the show so I can go block him immediately.
I'm going to add all these people, and I'm going to add them, let them know their tweets were featured on this podcast. You know what? We got to keep it a buck. SB at beautyclassy_27. This is after the first week. She said, I hate to say it, but I'm tired of free. And then Sports Chick at Korean GA Peach says, haven't been the same since that new contract. Hasn't been the same since he's been injured.
I love when people like assume that athletes after they get paid just like pack it in.
Shout out to Greg
I'm sure some of them
do,
but like I don't think Free would do that. Like,
that man is from the Pork and Bean Projects, man. The man's got heart. You know what I'm saying? He's got mad heart.
That man's probably the most like fiery individual on the offense, besides Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. So.
Well, shout out to him. I feel like he's kind of adjusted his running style because he doesn't look to be looking for a lot of contact or all the smoke like he used to. Like, even on the sidelines, he's getting out about it. It is. All right. So we have Quez Dread_head Quez. Bruh, I wish we'd have paid Coleman over Devontae.
Oh, get that out of here. I hate that argument. I hate it.
Yo, Tico High got hella quiet, hella quick, but, it is what it is. All right, so we have Adam King, or A King 3221. The Falcons have far and away the worst head coach in the game. Utterly unprepared yet again. The BS slogans of the past and physical mean nothing when you play a team that actually is fast and physical. This team will be lucky to go 6-10.
Was that after the Eagles game or the Vikings game?
This is all after the Vikings game.
The Vikings game?
Yes.
So, the game where 2 mental mistakes pretty much cost them the game. One on special teams and one on a good blitz means that we have the worst head coach in the league? Question mark? Are we not seeing what's going on in Jacksonville right now? Are we not seeing what's going on in Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay has a gas. Their team just sucks. But like Jacksonville,
I would say even though they're 2-0, I'd say Oakland. I feel like that's going to come crashing down here soon.
they're 2 and they're 1-1. They lost to the Chiefs last week.
I stand corrected. They are 1-1.
They got Pat Mahomes dropped like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in the second quarter alone. So yeah,
Big yikes. All right, so this person apparently is like made their rounds on Falcons Twitter. It's been blocked by everyone except me because I have not seen this person yet. Hold on. Da-da-da. So, Mo, WNBA Carnation at
oh no,
ATL
oh no,
LAEV.
bro.
She says, fuck their Matt Ryan can do no wrong asses. I like Matt Ryan, but he also has to make adjustments as the league is caught on to him.
I saw that tweet.
I did too. They got
it. Took me.
Boy,
It took everything out of me not to respond to that. Oh. If anybody that knows me and like follows me on the Hawks side of things knows how I feel about her. So I'm not gonna spit it out because you could pretty much guess how I'm talking right now. But one, she's always been like a Matt Ryan kind of hater or whatever. She's always been more of a apologetic towards like the running backs and the O line, even though they've been the problem majority of the time, which is crazy. Yeah. But her takes are either uninformed or strictly biased. So
that's a good point. Why do people entertain these takes? Like, why do people retweet this stuff? Like, I question some retweets I see. I'm like, are y'all just doing this because you agree or because you think it's stupid? Like, just block them. Just mute them or block them or keep them moving. Because I'm like, all right. So let's go with
I don't know what's worse, that take or the Vic one. Oh man.
All right, so this one is Samuel L. Jackson. Got a call, so the Falcons are already in playoff mode. Rise, never mind. And then some people just do reply to him saying some people in the front office, coaching staff, and roster need to rise up out of Atlanta. Samuel L. Jackson replies, I'm going to go with all of them for 1,000, Chad. Sam, Mr. Jackson, sir, weren't you like probably featured in one of our Rise Up promotions, bro? Like, what are we doing, Sam? Like, Sam, do you watch football? Right? You just advocated for the entire team to be fired. Like, what are you talking about?
Come on, bro. What's going on here? Is everything good?
Stay off the weed, Sam. Stay off the weed, please.
Now, to be fair, to all of these tweets, even like especially celebrity tweets, like I don't know if they're like either diehard or bandwagon, but being hurt after like expecting so much it's natural. It's a human reaction. But you have to understand that unless it's the last week of the season and your team is playing, there is always time for them to turn it around. So you don't have to, start calling for people's heads immediately. Give them if they're still playing trash after like half a season, then that's fine. You can start going at people next. They can get it together then. But after the first game where the Falcons have historically sucked in the first game for the last like 6 years, what's going on here? Do we not follow trends anymore?
Yeah, shout out to Matt Ryan for never leading an 0-2 Falcons team. Apparently, that's impressive. Like I said, that stands for something. So
yeah, he's always pretty much started 1-1 or 2-0 on like very close wins.
Facts. All right, the homie, part of Fit Game, good at math, Cedric Mill. Falcons fans, they sleeping on us. Falcons get drugged 28-12. Falcons fans, it's week 1. I mean, it is true. I mean, it is week 1. It happens. You move on. You want
to hear something crazy about week 1? Not a single team that looked good that week looked as good the next week.
The Vikings
Besides the
didn't lose
Patriots,
too
but the
bad to Green
Patriots
Bay.
don't count. They didn't look as good though. They look like they completely killed us. You know what happened? They almost got drugged.
Facts. Let's see. More Freeman slander. Let's see. Christy Nicole underscore under 5 feet underscore. Yes, I've been holding it in too long. I'm over Freeman now. Okay.
Wait a second. No.
Nadavius fan account.
Wait. Wasn't like 2 seasons ago she was advocating to be Devontae Freeman's baby mama? Or is that somebody else?
Hey man, I know nothing of these things. God bless the good Christian sister, Christy Nicole, for her.
I don't remember. I think she blocked me, so that's what I.
Oh God. You know what? Speaking of that, I've been blocked by this Falcons fan. It is funny because like she follows the 30 British Report page, and I'm like, yo, she blocked me in real life, but like I'd be interacting with her on like the page. I'm like, I got blocked for like the wildest shit. It wasn't even football related, but I'm pretty chill on Twitter. Like I don't understand why I got blocked. Like so, shout out to you. I ain't do nothing, but anywho, Nadavius fan account regarding Freeman. I said this last year, but got killed for it. So a lot of people are bringing out their hidden hate for Freeman now after one bad game.
Free played 2 games last year. What the fuck?
Yeah.
he literally played 2 games.
So shout out to all these official Twitter accounts being like the ultimate savages because Tech McKinley posted on April 18th that easy work 2 to 3 sacks first games, and then the official Vikings page trolled him and said easy after the L we took. It is what it is. All right, let's go to this hating ass dude, Ryan Clark. He said after the first game, good thing the Falcons paid Matty Ice all that money. Like, you play football, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Like, that'd be the worst ones, dog. Like, I get it. Like, again, I'm in this category too. I'm broke, whatever. But just because you weren't good enough to be a quarterback and make hundreds of millions of dollars not to get hit or, you know, probably get CTE. Like, why are you hating, bro? Like, why? Hating doesn't do nothing for you.
The part about Matt Ryan's game that time too was, beside the 3 interceptions, he played extremely well. Like, every other play was good.
Under duress.
But the 3 interceptions.
Under duress, missing what? Well, one of our guys, Lindstrom, broke his foot or hurt his foot.
Broke his foot in week 1 in like the 3rd quarter. And then the next, and then having your right tackle rotate. They played almost 50-50 snaps. Like, that's a lot of duress there, especially against a good ass team like that.
Yes. Let's see. Carl Dukes from everybody's favorite radio station, 1990 Game, which I
don't want to hear it.
I still enjoy. I enjoy their show. But this is what he said after the first game. It's not only that the Falcons are getting their butts kicked; it's the fact that all the things we're supposed to be better are not. Offense, Dirk Cotter. Special teams, nope. Run game, where is it? More physical. They owned us up front. Better D. Shit. Like, it's one game against a good defense with a rookie, right tackle, rookie left guard. Like,
right guard.
Right,
the whole whatever. Right side of the whole right side of the line was rookies, pretty much. So,
and I feel like this is more a tribute to the frustrations of the first game, but come on, dog. Like, you cover the game, bro. Like, have some better commentary than this. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? Shout out to this one guy for being extremely optimistic. Hashim _ really can't believe all 28 points the Vikings put on the board were because of 3 turnovers and a block punt. Guarantee this won't happen again. I think the Falcons will be fine. There we go. Some positivity injected into the Falcons podcast. If we don't follow you, young man, we definitely will now. We need more positivity. So there we go. Ooh, buddy.
You may follow him. I don't know about that. I got a whole vetting process in the England education. Let me following people.
I mean, it's very easy to unfollow people. So And this is where
Not taking a
people.
chance because once I follow people, I legit take like months to unfollow them, and you have to do some really heinous shit for me to actually unfollow
It
you.
doesn't. Nah, it doesn't take much for me. One tweet, and that's it. I'm like, yep, you out of here, bruh. All right. Oh man, AllSaintsConsidered.com at All Saints blog. Falcons loss, Panthers loss, Bucks loss. Football is back. That tweet is not going to age very well. Shout out to.
Oh, best
shout
believe I'll retweet and retweet that after every time they lose.
I got plenty of those. Let's see. More Freeman slander at Zach Klein. No, J.R. Winbush. Freeman is overrated. We have no line. The defense is non-existent. So yeah. Let's see. Ben Maxwell. DQ has me on the hot seat after today. Pitiful performance. S. Clayton 2. Absolutely embarrassing. Yamato Mills. Our O-line is still booty cheeks. Dirk Cotter sucks, and the O-line sucks too. Maney_Main. At Z Cupper _BSG. When you bring in a bunch of failed coaches, it makes a bit more sense.
Wow. I didn't see all these. Yeah, I know.
Yo, Falcons Twitter is the best. Gotta love Falcons Twitter. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna add y'all. Check out the podcast so we can all laugh together. But as we wrap this up, so we have a big game against the Indianapolis Colts. Per usual, according to ESPN's score predictor, because they have all the experts working for them, of course. They have
I saw that, and it's gonna make me mad all over again.
They have it 55.6% chance that the Colts pull out the W. Yeah, what are your thoughts? They're missing Jabal Sheard, Darius Leonard, Marlon Mack is questionable, T.Y. Hilton's questionable, and I never heard of this other guy, so I don't care. But like, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
As usual, against this is the first time we played the Colts since 2015, 2014, something like that. And there's a lot has changed. A lot has changed since then. But their offensive line is really good. But then again, so was the Eagles. I think Jacoby Brissett is actually good. I actually really like him. Well, he should have been starting somewhere else, but he chose to stay as a backup, and now he's getting paid for it, which is great.
Well, I know why he probably isn't starting somewhere else, but that's another discussion for another day.
That's that's politics. That it's true.
It's racism, but racism, not politics. But anyways,
whoa! You can't say that. You can't say that. It doesn't exist. Remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Nobody's racist, but racism still happens. But anyways, continue.
But I don't know how well you can expect him to carry the team. So as per se, like I'm pretty sure he can win. He can win the game for you. He can very easily drop like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns if you're not careful. With that being said, I don't really. I like our matchups across the board more than I like their offense. And on their defense, they're missing probably their 2 most important pieces, with Sheard and Darius Leonard. I, as always, don't think you should be trying to run at them. I think you should absolutely be trying to attack their corners because no, they don't have a corner they can match with what we have on our outside, which you will find is a very common theme across the league. But if they want to run the ball with Darius Leonard being out, they'll probably have a better chance at it. I think you should probably try to get Hooper more involved because I like that matchup against the linebackers. I think the Falcons should win this game. But every time I'm optimistic about them, they don't disappoint me because I don't expect them to do much. But based on the matchups and the injuries shown, I think they should win this game. I'm not going to give like a score prediction because I would troll and be like 78-36 or something that. But yeah, exactly. I don't take score prediction seriously because you don't know which Falcons team is going to show up every week. So,
well, I think after last week, this should be. I feel like the Falcons should be reborn after getting away with that W last week. Again, there's a lot of teachable moments where we can say, "Hey guys, this should have been a more impressive win than it was because of stuff that we did." So I think we bring our A game, we should be fine. But like the raw data, points per game, Falcons are 18, averaging 18. The Colts are averaging 21.5. Points allowed per game, the Falcons are averaging 24, Colts 23.5. Total yards per game for the Falcons, 377, 353 for the Colts. Passing, 312. Passing for the Colts, 168. Team rushing for the Falcons, 65. And this is where it could be a problem if we don't bring our A game. The Colts are averaging 185 yards per game on the ground. So hopefully we do not see a repeat of the Vikings game.
Got some dogs on that line.
Again, hopefully we don't see a repeat of that Vikings game. Like I think honestly that's going to be the biggest challenge, is that we need to force them to beat us with Jacoby Brissett, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Force us to beat with him.
I think though that the Falcons have good enough people on the edge. Like the only reason why a lot of those plays that happened against the Vikings happened is because I think they were too charged up and they were not being disciplined. They showed so much more discipline along the edges in the last game. Because if you ask me which tackle pairing is better between the Eagles and the Vikings, gotta have to go with the Eagles there. And they have a better like blocking tight end. So if they can pretty much stay solid and disciplined on the edges, you really want them to try to go back inside. I think Grady Jarrett has a mismatch no matter who he's going against. But Tyler Davison has been very, very good this year too. So you kind of want them to be funneled inside and keep them from the outside. So if they win the edges, that's what I'm going to say. If they win the edges, they win the game.
I would say for us, from the challenges we've had in the first two games, I will say that as well. But what I would like to see, which I think will increase our odds, obviously, with any team, is our quarterback to have a clean game, cut back on the turnovers. Again, I know the interceptions are part of the game, but get rid of the ones you can get rid of. Like, make the best decisions you can. I would like to see, I'm glad to see that Matt Ryan is getting the audible. I'd like to see some hurry up, some tempo, keep these guys on their toes and make some big plays that way. Even if we're not, designing the best plays, just maybe catch them off guard with our tempo and some hurry up and catch guys out of position, catch guys in bad defenses, catch them with bad personnel in the field to, generate explosive plays like that. But again, if we can force them to beat us with Jacoby Brissett, I think that we win this game. I will give it to us. I'll say we win by 10 points. That's going to be my official prediction.
I can feel that.
Yeah, so
I'm going to say 31-17.
Oof. That's ambitious. 30.
I think the Colts come out fast and it forces the Falcons to throw the ball for once. And then once they get ahead, they'll probably run it. And then Colts will score again, so they'll probably have to keep their foot on the pedal. It's not going to happen. But if they can put up 31 points against the Colts, then I'll have a lot more faith in what their offense can do the rest of the season. This, week 4 is in my opinion, the deadline for the offense to be like clicking. But if they don't I need them to show steps.
Week 4.
If they show steps and they still only drop 20 points, then I'll be fine. They can win the game 20-17 for all I care, as long as they win the game.
Facts. We got the Titans in week 4. A lot of people were, down on your boy, dog. Down on your boy.
Not worried about the Titans.
Down on your boy. Marcus Mariota's been a bum from the jump. Yeah, man.
Man, Marcus has some problems, but a lot of those problems, some of those problems aren't really his fault. And I'm going to leave it there. He was getting swarmed the entirety of that game. They got sacked 9 times.
Hey, man. So I thought we were going to wrap up with one more thing. Speaking of the Titans, there's a Titans fan that's kind of become semi-viral, not really viral, on Falcons Twitter. Patrick Simpson, _Patrick Simpson. He posted God Got Me, and he posted a bit of a Twitter release. He says, I've been a Titans fan for 19 years. I've been to over 5 dozen games. I've traveled to London to see them play. I went to games after we were already eliminated when it was 10 degrees outside. You were a damn fool for that. Anyways, but due to the absolute, total, complete incompetence of this franchise and my decaying mental health, I can't take it anymore. I have decided to decommit from the Titans fandom and open my recruitment back up. Please no interviews. And the Falcons social media page reached out to him and said, commit to Atlanta and we'll follow you right now. And then under that began a trail of thirsty Falcons fans looking to be followed by the Falcons page. The thirst is real, dog. Like, these people want the Falcons to follow them so bad. Like, yo, I've been a Falcons supporter for 36 years. Can you follow me? And I'm
all
only
I know is one person that within that mentions is never gonna get followed. It's Gift. If she ever hears this, she ain't never getting followed. No, I'll make sure of that.
I think the Falcons do follow her. I think maybe.
Oh Lord, let me go check that.
I advocate for them to block her.
I'm gonna have to slide some notes under doors or something, bro, because she be talking reckless about them, bro. And
I tell them to block her all the time. Like, please block her. And again, I'm over here trolling because the Falcons follow your boy. So shout out to the Falcons as always. Rise up and brotherhood, all that, yada yada. No, this dude's never getting followed. Mordecai, the awesome Blue Jay, ATO Blue Jay, he is never getting followed by the Falcons. That dude is crazy. That dude has mental issues. That dude is hilarious, but yeah, not gonna happen, bro. Not gonna happen. Oh man. If you're still listening to this, I appreciate it, but we need to touch on one thing. I touched on the committee podcasts, other podcasts I do non-sports. Check us out every Monday. So, speaking of the Falcons social media, they decided that it was a great idea in the year of our Lord, 2019.
Oh, no. I didn't even... I saw it, and I didn't even watch it.
I didn't hear about it until after the fact, but they dropped the wildest Falcons hype video featuring Bone Crusher, who I honestly didn't know was still alive. But, shout out to him for hopefully collecting the bag. But the Falcons fans and supporters roasted the Falcons page so badly that they deleted the picture within 3 hours, or the video within 3 hours. But what I'll say is, the Falcons are undefeated since that video dropped. So, Falcons fans, let's get hype. Let's do the modified Dirty Bird chicken wing, whatever that was. And
small sample size.
We are undefeated since the video dropped. So, rise up, do the Dirty Bird. Because again, honestly, as Falcons fans, supporters, we need to embrace that video, because anytime something bad happens to us or we lose, that video is going to show up on our timeline. So we take it and embrace it as our own. It can't be used against us. Gotta use your brain here, guys.
See, I don't even want the follow from the Falcons now. Like, they really thought that was a good idea.
Fam.
They couldn't have just got like a game trailer with the In Brotherhood guy.
Bro, they already had a hype video. They had Ludacris and JD doing Welcome to Atlanta, like a modified Atlanta mix. Like, bro, they could have called Pastor Troy.
Like, I'm fine with that.
They could have called the Youngbloods. They could have got Andre 3000 to
could have got the Migos, who were cool with at least 3 people on your team.
Thank you.
Could have got Luda. You could have got all these people, and you did that. Well, what were you thinking?
They didn't want to cut the check. Like the Bone Crusher check and the Migos check is, the decimals are a lot shorter. You know what I'm saying? It's not as many. Can't cut corners.
I'll give you $50. Make it 3. You got a deal.
I will give you a pass for 50% off all of our cheap food at the stadium with the purchase of a ticket. Good for 1 month if you record this video. Like, fam, like, again, same with some of these NFL franchises. I feel like some of the people on Twitter, myself included, could probably run their social media page better than they do. But I feel like there's probably a lot more to the job. But just on the Twitter side, why are we out here thirsting for fucking fans, bro? Like, we don't want no damn Titans fan. Like, why are you going to even offer that a follow, bro? Like, slang a follow to one of your day one Falcons fans, man. That's my opinion. But anywho, this is wrong longer than it should have. Shout out to Ringer for being trash. Got any shout outs, Shayla?
What time is it? No, it's 1:04. I was gonna say shout out to one of my friends, but his birthday isn't past, so I don't care anymore. Shout out to the Falcons for, not making me regret having a week on Twitter, because I have a bunch of Eagles friends and a bunch of Eagles fans on my timeline, and they would have not let me live, even though I told them they were gonna win. But shout out to them for doing that. Shout out to Vic Beasley for having a good game again. I still have faith.
Vic.
Shout out to I don't know. Shout out to Aaron as usual. I shout Aaron out every time. He'll be all right. And that's pretty much it. I don't like many people.
That is interesting. All right, yeah. Shout out everybody checks us out. Definitely retweet the podcast, share it with your friends, trying to grow the page. If there's anybody out there that wants to help be a part of the Dirty Bird Nation Report team, you can DM me at SBReport706. We're poor, so we can't pay you, but once we get popping, we might start cutting some checks. But rise up in brotherhood. This is the Dirty Bird Nation Report, the unofficial official podcast of Falcons Twitter. We out. Peace.